Hi guys, I have another awesome, amazing review for you guys today because I have got my hands on the full-size cordless glue gun from Surebonder, and I wanted to let you know, is it worth it? Surebunder's glue guns come at a little bit of a higher price point than some of the other brands out there. There are a lot of cheap brands out there that's just like, you know, really quick plug and go kind of a glue gun. And today we're gonna chat, is it worth it to spend a little bit extra money on this bad boy? I also did another video on its little brother, the mini glue stick version of this corded and cordless glue gun. And if you caught that video, you know that I love it. So spoiler alert on this guy. But I really do love how this mini version works. And this is basically its replica, but larger. So for instance, they're both very, very similar specs. This one is a 20-watt glue gun and this one is a 60-watt glue gun. So this one is going to pull a little bit more power than the little guy, but it's kind of like a more powerful glue gun. I mean, that's hard to say, but like the output is more. You're using, if you notice, you've got these full-size sticks versus the mini-size glue sticks. The amount that you're going to be squeezing out in the full size versus the smaller baby brother is going to be significantly more. There is a reason why this one's gonna have a little bit more power, because it's got a bigger stick that it's gotta melt versus this little baby guy. All right, so let's talk about big brother, because that's why we're here, right? Okay, so in the last video, I did talk about, is it worth it to have the cordless version of this glue gun? Because I mean, really, whew, it is pretty cool that you can just pop it off and do your gluing. Some of the things that were annoying about the little brother that are the same problems with big brother is that this mechanism is a little bit stiff coming in and out. So it's not like this like really nice fluid motion of like pulling it out and gluing. It's just like, glue, 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 set it down. You know, it's not that, because I can set it down very nicely, but that doesn't mean that it's actually like connected to the power to reheat it. You know, you gotta put it back down and pull it off. So actually, that might have been a lie right now, because I literally just gently set it on top and the power light is on, which means that it's reheating. I'm just gonna like auto-correct myself right now, because that was the thing that I didn't necessarily love with the little guy, but this one has a much better connector on here than baby brother. This is definitely reheating right now and I can just fluidly pick this up. Another miscommunication problem with these that I hear a lot in comments and stuff is that it's charging or it's reheating. Is it charging, reheating? Is it truly a cordless? Is there a battery inside? Like, what's going on with these glue guns? So there is actually no battery inside. It is literally just on the base and it is heating the glue gun up. Like, just imagine like it being sitting here and it's being plugged in. Like, that's really what's happening here. It's just, this is plugged in right now. This is unplugged. It would be the exact same thing if you had a corded glue gun right now and you literally just like unplugged it from the wall, but it's gonna hold on to its heat for a little bit longer, basically, before it's just like, it's not gonna like unplug from the wall and be like, I'm instantly cool. So that's basically what it's really doing. It's just holding its heat so you can use it for up to 2 minutes. With the mini glue gun, that you can use it longer than 2 minutes. Keep in mind though, the glue is formulated to work at a certain temperature. So once this glue gun starts cooling off, then obviously the glue's effectiveness is going to start going down. So in order to get the best results from your glue, you need to keep it at the optimal temperature. But I mean, I fudged it, it works. Keep in mind though, what kind of project you're doing with that though. If you need that, like, this is a strong, secure piece that I need glued on here, make sure that it is at its 100% hotness, or it's not gonna hold as well as you want it to, and you might have failure. And that's something you do have to keep in mind with this glue gun, because you gotta make sure that you are sticking it on its base. And make sure you're reheating it, because if you leave it off the base for too long, then it's going to start cooling off, and you've got about 2 minutes to work with it, 1 to 2 minutes. And if it starts cooling and you're like, why am I not doing this well? Like, that's what's your problem gonna be. Another thing is too, you don't want to start forcing your glue stick in, because that's how things break. So if this thing cools off and you're just like no, I want to keep gluing. You're gonna force something and potentially damage your glue gun. And that sucks, because if this is your only glue gun, then all of a sudden you're not working on your project anymore, and that's really annoying. I will say I have feels like 30 glue guns in my house, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to try the bigger version, because primarily in my business and my work, I do primarily felt flowers, felt crafts, like smaller detail-oriented crafts where I need that fine tip. This one, however, is a larger tip, and I was like, gosh, I'm not gonna, at first I was like, why am I gonna buy this? Because I'm like, I don't ever need a big tip. And then I was like, wait a second, that's not true. There's definitely projects where I want more of a glue output, and there's definitely projects where I'm just annoyed because I'm using little brother, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm squeezing, and I'm like, it's just taking me forever. I've caught myself now on my work table having multiple different size glue guns all plugged in. Oh, sorry, I know that's terrible. But I'll be like, okay, so now I'm gluing flowers onto the base. So I'm gonna grab this glue gun and put more glue on that piece, so that way it's just faster than me sitting there going for every 3 squirts of the little guy, I could do 1 squirt of this guy. I am not liking these words that I'm choosing. Bear with me with my word choices today, because they were super fun. This is kind of solving some of the problems I had with the other one, where it's you don't have to shove this on every single time like the other one, because it felt okay, so this is a 2-handed process to get it off. You're not gently pulling it off, but with this one, I can gently pull this off and do a 1-handed process, which is really, really cool. Also, it's got the drip plate, which is really nice because, I can sit there and oh, look, my table is protected from that. Which is also really, really nice and appreciative. If for whatever reason you don't want to go cordless on this, say you're doing a bigger project and you're just I don't have time to stick it on the base every 30 seconds, you can unplug the heating base, I guess, is that what we're gonna call this? I mean, it's basically an extension of the cord, really. Take this cord out, and it is the same adapter on the bottom to just plug it in. Now you have a corded glue gun. That is super cool. The only thing is you can't stand it up at all, ever. You have to lay it down flat. They have these side fins that prevent it from any backflow, and the way that the gun is designed, it's never gonna fall on your project or be uneven or wonky or weird, so it's not that big of a deal to have it on its side. So there is a give and take if you wanted to use this as a corded version. And that's why I think this one marries really, really well with their regular corded glue guns, because you kind of get the best of both worlds on this one. It works well. See, there I go. It's it does get sticky, and I think that's my biggest complaint about it. I've noticed with my other ones that I use more, this kind of slowly gets a little bit easier to come in and out. But if you notice, the amount of glue that comes out on this guy is, I didn't even do a full trigger pull, and that's quite a bit. I do think it's important when buying your glue gun to think what your projects are, because if you don't need this size glue gun, you're gonna waste more glue too. So you need to get the smaller version. Supposedly you could also flip this drip tray up, which honestly, I'm not sure why. Supposedly now you could use the glue gun like this, but who's ever gonna use it on the stand like this? I don't see it, because it's now it's more awkward. You've got this cord hitting your arm. So that part design-wise, I don't really understand or get, or the thought process there, but I mean, it's there if you wanted to, I guess. I will say with the Surebonder brand, it's comfortable versus the cheaper ones that are this big, and you're trying to stick your hand around them and you're just oh, this hurts. It is worth a little bit extra cost, and they will last longer for you. One cool thing about this is it definitely has an on and off switch. So me, I am an irresponsible crafter, which from the more and more comments I read and the more people that reach out, I am not alone. That you guys, none of you all are turning your glue guns off, and you are leaving them on all the time. It's obviously recommended to turn them off. Another thing is that I learned after finally taking the time to read the packaging, it does have an internal safety fuse. So for all of you people out there like me that leave their glue gun on all the time. You can rest assured that if this bad boy gets a little too hot inside, it auto shuts off, which is really, really great. So it's definitely put some peace in mind when I, leave town for vacation and my husband's were like in the car. My husband's like, did you turn off all your glue guns? And I'm like, probably no. That did give us a little bit of comfort knowing that there is a safety fuse in there that will shut the glue gun off. And I guarantee you those cheap ones do not have that. And I would be terrified. Yeah, I really don't have a ton of negative things to say about it. I think it's a solid winner if you're looking for a corded, cordless, full-size glue gun. Just make sure that when you're purchasing any of these, you're hatching the full-size or the mini version, depending on what kind of project you're doing, or snag both. I've got a link in my description below to the Surebonder website if you want to snag either this one or the mini version, or both, because I do think they're really kind of handy to have both in your arsenal. Little brother and big brother. If you like this video though too, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that way you can follow along with either more craft tool reviews or snag and learn how to make some beautiful fall flowers, because my channel is riddled with them. And that way you know exactly what to do with your shiny new little glue guns. Thanks guys, and be sure to comment if you think I missed something, because I will totally do a follow-up video on this because I miss things. It happens. All right, thanks guys. Catch you next time.